Welcome back, my dear students. So today I am going to talk about the last topic of our chapter, that is estimation of animals. So let's move. Before going to the estimation of animal methods, do you know what is the difference between home range and territory? If you don't know, so let's realize what is the difference between these two terms. Home range means it is a specific geographic area of an organism or a group of organisms for spending their whole life. The peculiarity of this geographical area is that this area will represent the boundary for food, shelter and other requirements. For more clearly, I will cite with an example. And home range of an African hunting dogs seems to be 4,000 kilometers, which means up to this 4,000 kilometers, this hunting dogs will get their food, shelter and other daily requirements. While the case of a mouse, it is somewhat smaller than this dogs, right? So it requires only a lesser geographical area, only maybe less than 1 hectare. So this is called the home range. It will be the geographical area of a particular species or a particular group of organisms which will provide all the basic requirements for them. Okay, here you can see that this light blue colored regions are called home range, and different home ranges can be overlapped. For example, in a forest you can see different kinds of animals. So a home range of a dog will be it will be in overlap with a mouse one and another primates, then another carnivorous animals. Okay, so the home ranges are always overlapping with each other. And what is the peculiarity of this home range? The home range or the size of an home range will depend upon the density of food sources, the population density of that particular animal, then its competition with other species, and also its position of hierarchy in the concerned group. So these four factors determines the size of home range. Here you can see that the size of home range here it is different, right? Then this is somewhat larger and this is somewhat small, this is somewhat intermediate. Okay, so these factors are generally depending the size of home range. Then for determining this home range, there are two methods are generally employed. What are they? The first method is called movement method. How can we determine the home range of a particular animal? The first one is called the movement method. Here what we are doing, that we are carefully observing the movement of that particular animal and its boundaries are determined. Okay, for example, the case of hunting dogs, we are chasing them or we are their movement is carefully observed by us and its boundaries are determined. And from this analysis we got this particular area. Okay, then the second method is called the baiting technique method. That in the previous classes I have already told you that what is meant by baiting trapping method. Here we are placing different kinds of baiting box that contains food in the different parts of the study area. Okay, so if the animals moves in that area, it will be trapped in that baiting box. So by means of this method we can also determine home range. I hope you understood what is meant by home range. Then what is meant by territory? Territory means the territory is an area which is found in this home range. Here you can see that this red colored one is the territory. And what is the peculiarity? This territory is maintained or it is occupied only by a single member or a breeding pair or a small group of the same species. This is called a territory. Okay, then how can we determine territory. The distance, just like in home ranges, the distance moved by an animal from its ration or after feeding its food can be traced by droppings. Right? The excreta, by tracing its excreta, we can determine the territory as well as home range. For example, the birds are maintaining their territory boundaries during the breeding season. During the reproductive period, they are generally making territory boundaries. That means the members of another species. If a bird is maintaining a territory, means a male and female birds will be maintaining in a particular territory area or in a particular area, that is called territory, and the male will attack another members of the same species come into contact with this female. So that is called a territory conflict. So this territory conflict are clearly demarcated at the time of breeding season. Okay, so this is called a territory. So home range is a large geographical area, and within this area you can see the territory. So this is the main difference between them. Okay, then what is mean by the estimation of number of animals? How can we determine the number of animals in a particular population? There are 4 different methods are employed. What are they? Census method, sampling estimation, marker recapture method, and use of indices. By analyzing this, any one of these methods, we can determine the estimation of a population. So let's know what are they. Census method. I hope you understood. You all are familiar with this particular term. What is meant by census? We are just counting the number of individual species in a given area during a particular period of time. That is called a census method. And this census method is generally employed for large sized or gregarious or group dwelling or socially organized animals like elephants, rhinos, zebras, man, etc. Right? And here you can see that, for example, in the case of waterfalls, here waterfalls we've generally done 2 different activities during 2 different seasons. In the case of winter season, they are generally undergoing feeding, and in the summer season they are undergoing a kind of what we notice as nesting behavior, as a period of inactivity is generally found in this summer season. So this is a winter season concerned with feeding done by waterfalls, and this is a nesting behavior which is done by these waterfalls during summer season. So this we are counting their numbers both in these 2 periods. That is called the census method. So during that particular period of time that we want to study, we will count the number of individual species. Okay. Then the second method is called a sampling estimation. Sampling is counting the number of a species in a sample plot. That in the first or second class we have discussed what are the different types of sampling: random sampling, systemic sampling, cluster sampling, quadrant sampling, etc. Right, so here we are using the sampling estimation. Here making some sample plot and we are estimating the number of species by any means, by sampling, by different kinds of sampling methods. And this is generally done in the case of slow moving or stationary animals. For example, you maybe know that snails are very slow moving organisms. Okay, here you can see that some persons or scientists are counting or estimating the number of snails in a pond. Okay, so this is an example of sample estimation. Then comes capture recapture method. I think there is no need of repetition of this particular slide because I have already told you that what is meant by capture recapture method, right? And apart from this capture recapture method, the population size can also be determined by another index of formula that is called this one. That is capital P is to capital M is equal to small p is to small m. What are the terminologies? That is, P is the whole population or the population size of that particular animal, then capital M is the number of initially marked and released individuals, and small p represents a mixed sample drawn from the population, and small m represents the marked members of the mixed sample. So for clear understanding, I will cite you with an example. 250 carps in a pond. 250 carps means it's a kind of fish, are caught from a lake by netting method. And these 250 carps are marked and released into the same lake. And after 1 week, we have collected around 320 carp fish. And out of this 320 carp fish, we got 80 carps were already marked. Okay, so how can we collect the population size? That is, according to the formula, capital P is to capital M is equal to small p is to small m, right? So here this capital P that we want to determine, and this small p capital M is called the 250 carps, the first initial population, that is 250, right? Then this 320 indicates the total number of individuals in the second sample, and 80 indicates the number of individuals in the which is already marked. Okay, so the population size, by derivating this formula, we will get population size capital P is equal to 250 into 320 divided by 80, that is equal to 1000. So the population size of this particular animal, a particular fish, seems to be 1000. Okay, then another terminology which is always used in association with this mark recapture method is called linked index. So this is generally used as a result of the use of recapture method or as the alternative of this method. Here, according to this linked index, the population size can be determined P is equal to small a into small n divided by small r. Here P indicates the total number of individuals in a population, A indicates the number of individuals in the first sample, and n, small n determines the total number of individuals in the second recapture method, and small r represents the number of marked individuals in the second sample. So this is the formula usually employed for determine the population size of an animal by means of linked index. Then the last one is called the indices. By using indices, we can also determine the size of a population. Then what is meant by indices? We are making the numerical abundance of an organism by means of indirect methods like roadside count, animal sign, calls, footprints, etc. By estimating all these methods, we can determine the size of a population. For example, you can see that some animals are tracking or moving through the road. So by counting the number, we can determine their population size. That is only an ineffective, it's an indirect method, and we don't know how much it is productive. So, but this is one of the methods for estimating animal population. Then by animal signs, then calls, then their footprints. Here you can see that this is a footprint of a tiger. So by means of these methods, we can determine the size of a population. So I hope you understood what are the different methods used for estimating the number of animals in a population. And if you have any doubt, please do code yes. And thank you.